It's been a long process, obviously, your life journey now on the big screen, but even just getting it to the big screen has been a long process with COVID and writer strikes. To be here now for both of you, and we can start with you, Anthony, what does it mean to know that this movie is coming out for people to see now?
And I'm excited. This is an amazing blessing, and to have this story come out, but in a way that my whole family is proud of it, and we had input in the whole process. That's something special. We know that this film is going to touch people in so many different ways and inspire them to wrestle through challenges in their life. So it was a long wait, but it was well worth that wait, considering how everything came together and how well it came together.
And for you, Judy, going through this process, and I should say Dr. Judy Robles as well right now, knowing that, since the events of this movie, you have had almost like another life at this point, going back to school and getting your doctorate. What's it been like revisiting those moments and just seeing how far you've come and how far Anthony's come?
I think it took this film to show me what I've been through. Even the hard times, even knowing, day to day, I actually, did go through this process, but when I sat and watched it, it's been really hard, and something I always say, and Anthony doesn't like when I say this, but I'm like, I don't deserve any, praise. I don't deserve for him to put me on such a pedestal or to call me his hero. But when I see the journey that I've gone through and the relationship that Anthony and I have and the strength that I gained from it, I'm very proud of the person that I am today and the fight that I had in me to keep pushing through. And I'm grateful that all my kids, starting with Anthony, have had that in them to be the people that we are, and that in spite of all the challenges and all the struggles that we've had, we chose to not let that define who we are, and that's what I've done with myself. And I'm grateful that it didn't make me bitter and it didn't make me angry, but I'm happy and I'm blessed that Anthony is my son and that I'm his mom.
And for you, Anthony, now, for people to really know that, because, Sun Devil alums, myself included, we see the banners, we see national champion, we see all those things, but for them to watch this movie, and not to spoil it, but to see more of your life story and what you were going through, as someone who now is in the coaching space, you coached at Mesa, you're out at Hamilton, you do all kinds of clinics, does it help you relate to other athletes maybe going through similar things where, an athlete might be having a bad day and you're like, I might need to talk to him instead of get on his case because maybe something's going on at home?
Absolutely. I believe as a coach, it's definitely given me a different type of insight. And as an athlete, my mentality was, I step on their mat against the opponent. How can I defeat them? What's their weakness? But now as a coach, it's like, okay, how can I motivate this kid in my team? On my team, what are they dealing with? What's going to make them tick? And I definitely notice those things. I think for me, I'm not like a big talker about my feelings. I kind of show it more on my face and try to hold things in. And so I take notice of that now with my athletes as they're coming through our program. Like, okay, something's going on with them. Let's see what it is, and try to just open up to them. And I'm excited now that this film is out there because, I think it's going to share not only the victory moments, but also the painful moments. And I think, my team's going to see this, other kids are going to see this, and I hope that it's going to inspire them and their coaches, just to help them overcome things that they're going through in their life and just come together, because as you'll see in the film, no one can do it alone. We all wrestle our own challenge individually, but you also have to have that support behind you. And I hope that this film does that.
The title is fitting, Unstoppable. I know it's something, Judy, you recognized in him very early as a young kid, and wrestling was obviously the path. Could you ever imagine what's come since then? Either of you? Motivational speaking, records, and coaching, like all these things you've been able to do.
Absolutely not. No way. But Anthony's Anthony, and it's like Anthony and I are not done. There's always, yes, there's this movie, but he and I were talking. I'm asking him every once in a while, all right, what's up next? I feel like he national title, I get a doctorate, like we keep going. But I think it's been good because I think that we've been held down for so long, with life and how messy it was. But Anthony is unstoppable. So no, yes, a movie is great. It's amazing, but there's more things for my son. I'm excited to see what those things are.
Last thing before I get out of here too, and everyone sees the movie coming out soon. Now that this is coming out there and you've been able to share your story, is there, for either of you or both of you, a freeing feeling from it, knowing that you've kind of had time to process this? Now you've had a chance to actually show people, and not just family members now, but the world coming up to see it, and now knowing that there's still more in store. Has it been freeing?
Yeah, absolutely. Just this whole process of creating the film, it was therapeutic in a way, reliving the great moments, but also talking through the painful moments as a family, realizing that we did get through it, and ultimately knowing that this was coming together to inspire people out there. And now that it's out there and, having to see the audience reactions, that's kind of my favorite part now, is just seeing them kind of go through that roller coaster of emotions with us, and then seeing them walk away, just like, the wheels are turning in their head. Like, I can be unstoppable too. And it's inspiring for me. So,
anything you'd like to add?
Well, yeah, for me too. I agree. It's been therapeutic. Like, I carried a lot of guilt and shame for what I did and what I went through. But to see it does feel good that is a part of me, and that I'm okay with that. Because I am the woman I am today because of those trials, because of the things that my family went through. And I'm glad, that my family and we are still strong, we're still close regardless. So the good times and the bad, it's been nice and to have all the siblings to be so excited about this film and be, surrounding Anthony and regardless of what's going on. It's been an amazing feeling to have. Like, that part of my life, it's very real and it's very raw, but it's me. And I'm happy now that I don't have to hide behind that anymore.
Well, Anthony, Dr. Judy Robles, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Very nice meeting you.
Absolutely.